Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nasrullah bin Ibrahim. My matrix number is D0520101127. Today, my group will present about the product detail that previously asked by Sir Takim. So for our group, we choose iron machine as a product. So let's start with the introduction. Okay. What is iron? Iron machine, usually a heated tool to remove wrinkles from fabric. The heating is commonly done at high temperature, average of 180 to 280 Celsius. It depends on the fabrics that you use. For the usage is, we can say we use the iron mostly every day, especially for the worker that use their uniform for the work. Not only that, students also use the iron for their school uniform. So what we can look here is iron are really important tool in our daily usage. Why it is really important? It is because ironing not only eliminates wrinkles and shrinkage, but it also leaves clothes looking fresher. Ironing also manipulates the fabric in clothes to improve their quality and ensure a long life. Having a clean and fresh clothes leave you feeling better about yourself and boost self-confidence. So let's continue with the uh, parts of the iron.
Okay, first of all, my name is Haziq Akimi bin Hamdan. My matrix number is D0520101102, and I would like to talk about the equipment or tools inside of the product that we would like to present. So as we can see, here are the list of the parts or tools of the equipment of the iron. So we start off with the electric power cord. So power cord is a cable that connects an appliance to the main electricity supply either via wall socket or the extension cord. The power cord of the iron is not too short but long enough for the users to use the iron comfortably. So the next part is the heel and non-slip pad. So the heel that they provide is actually quite large, and it is a tool that acts like a foot of iron in order to stand an iron in case if the users want to put the iron in the vertical positions. So the shape of the heel is actually look like a triangular shape and attached with the non-slip pad. And the next part of the product is the integral anti-scale system, which is normally just a system that prevents the build-up of the lime scales inside the iron. So the next part is the water tank filler hole. So it is a hole that helps users to put the water into the tank. The size of the hole is actually quite large and in a circular shape. So it helps the users to put the water easily inside the iron. And the next part of the iron is the thermostat indicator light. So normally we know that thermostat is a device that senses the temperature of the physical system and performs actions so that the system is temperature is maintained inside an iron. So they have invented the indicator light is just to bring signal to the users that the thermostat is acting inside the iron. The next part is the dry or steam control, which is normally a system where either the users want to use a dry or a steam control on the iron. The shape of the button is actually like a circular shape and quite small um, in the iron. So the next part of the iron was the program selector, which is normally a selector that users always use to pick either from 1 to 8 panel that they want to use. So the shape of the selectors actually look like sticks, and the size are quite small enough for the users to select and use it the stick if they wanted to pick the program that they want to use when they iron the clothes. So the next part of the iron was the sole plate, which is the area where the steams comes out, and also the area that normally the users like to use when they iron their clothes. So the shape of the socket is actually look like it just follows the shape of the iron, but quite large than the body of the iron itself. So the next part of the iron was the spray, which is normally where the place where the water comes out when the users press the spray button, and the size of the sprays are quite small, and it's actually small enough for the water to come out from the iron. So the next part of the iron is the 8 program panel. So as we can see, based on the pictures that are shown, there are 8 types of panels that we can choose, either from 1 to 8, which is from cool to jeans, for each program corresponding to a type of textile to be ironed. Your iron automatically and precisely determines the most suitable temperature and steam flows to guarantee the best results yourself. And the next part of the iron is the anti-curb wave release button. So normally, inside the iron, there was a anti-curb valve that prevents the scales from accumulating inside the iron. So they have invented the release button is in case if the users want to release the anti-curb valve from the iron when they try to clean up the valve. So the shape of the release buttons was in rectangular shapes and small enough for the users to press it if they want to use the button. So the next part of the iron is short of steam button and a spray button, which is normally we know that short of steam button usually a button that short steams, and spray button is a button that short spray. The size of those buttons is actually was in crescent shape, but both buttons are combined into the one shape. So the other side was the spray button and the other side was the short of steam button. Next we have the thermo alert light. So we know as an engineer that thermo is actually means something that's related to heat. So there is a device that can detect heat inside the iron, and they have invented the thermo alert light to bring a signal whether there was a heat that was being produced inside the iron or not. So next we have the auto stop safety warning light. Normally we know that iron is something that related to heat. So when we turn on the iron and set up the heat that we want to use, it is getting hotter. So imagine if we use it for a long period of time and we use a really high temperature, soon it will become hotter and might not be safe anymore for the users. So they have prevented the warning light just to show the signal if the irons is getting dangerous, as the irons is getting overheating for the users to use. And lastly, the last part of the iron is the ergonomic grip, which is normally a grip that helps the users to hold the iron when they try to iron the clothes. The size of the grip was actually long enough for the users to use and hold the iron comfortably when they try to iron the clothes. So that's all the definitions that I would like to talk about the parts of the tools inside the irons. So we're moving on to the functions of those parts.
Okay, first of all, my name is Muhammad Irfan and I will continue the presentation slide. So I will talk about the function of the iron, function of the part of the iron. So I will go through the only important part, that special part, yeah. So the special part that I see, it is a short of steam button. So when you push the button, they suggest this for smoothing out an extremely creased area. This will help you help in iron it out faster, so it extends wrinkles very easily. So the second part is the thermostat indicator light. The function, iron expand less than brush as it gets hotter. When the strip is cool, it's red, so it acts as bridge through with electricity flow. So the circuit is on, and so it is the heating. So it means when the indicator light on, yeah, it means the iron is hot. So the the third special part of this iron is dry and steam control. So the function of steam is to get rid of the wrinkle quickly. So if you want to iron the clothes very quickly, you can use the steam control. Then the dry iron, the function is has a sole plate that heats up, so you can press it onto clothing to get clean and smooth. So if you have some time to smooth your clothes, so just switch to the dry control. So the fourth special part is the integral anti-scale system. So the function is your iron contains an anti-scale cartridge to reduce scale deposits. So this considerably prolongs to the operational life of your iron. So the anti-scale cartridge is an integral part of the water tank and does not need to be replaced. So it means the anti-scale system in the iron cannot be replaced. It's just inside the iron. Yeah. So the next special part is the auto stop safety warning light. So the function is iron stops heating up. So the auto shut off mode. Well, it means when the iron is really too hot. Let's say if you forgot to plug off your iron, then immediately the safety warning light on, and then the iron will shut off automatically. Yeah. So the next special part is anti-cup. So the function is prevent scale from aggregating into the iron. So anti-cup setting maintains steam performance and iron results over time. So that's all for the function of the iron. So let's move to the next slide.
Assalamualaikum. I am Akif. My matrix number is D0520-198. We will talk about ironing hazard. There's a lot of hazard. There's a lot of hazard for electrical iron. Ironing can result in fire, injury, or burn if wrongly used. It is advisable to always be cautious when using one. One's most crucial safety precaution that people tend to ignore is they don't read the manual. Most people tend to start using the iron without consulting this document. Different iron have different features, so you need to do things right. First, Fire hazard. Ironing on bed can cause fire as heat burns through surface. An iron board should be used and not be overlooked at. Second, burn hazard. If you are rushing, don't iron the clothes you are wearing as this could lead to burn. This also applies to not iron clothes on floor. The floor can get heated and cause burns on your feet. Last, injury hazard. Leaving the cable hanging around while ironing can cause someone to tangle to it and lead to injury. Iron should always be kept away from children. Their curious and hyper behavior can easily get them injured. That's all. We can move to the next slide.
My name is Muhammad Amirul Hakim. Okay, today I want to talk about the manual how to use the iron. Okay, first you need to unplug your iron before filling the water. Next, set the steam control to dry. Next, take the iron in one hand and tilt it slightly so plate downwards. To open the water tank stopper, turn it anti-clockwise until the arrow on the stopper points to the open padlock symbol. It will lift automatically. Fill the tank up to the max line. Next, reclose the tank stopper. To close the stopper, align the arrow with the open padlock symbol, then turn it clockwise until the arrow is aligned with the closed padlock symbol. You can now plug in your iron and start iron your clothes. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fakri Kwan. For the conclusion of the presentation, a clothes iron is a small appliance that, when heated, is used to press clothes to remove crease. Ironing works by loosening the ties between the long chains of molecules that exist in polymer fiber material. With the heat and the weight of ironing plate, the fiber are stretched and the fabric maintains its new shape when cool. Some materials, such as cotton, require the use of water to loosen the intermolecular bonds. Then the three main hazards that can make when you using iron is fire hazard, burning hazard, and injury hazard. Some of the safety tips or the precaution: if the iron is dropped or it falls to the floor, the iron must be not used if there is any visible sign of damage or if it leaks. Then the iron must be placed on a flat, stable, heat-resistant surface. Next, this iron must be always plugged into an earth socket. Lastly, never immerse your iron in water. I think that's all from us. Thank you.